Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now. Border guards took him for a spy, and the shepherd thought that he was a ghost. The newspapers admired him, wondering if he was a robot. They called him a camel. He is proud of this nickname. He is the only man who has crossed on foot all the great deserts of the earth. This is Marat Zhilinbayev. It's hard to beat my record, but it's even harder to find your own path in life. How to run like Superman. Who guided the marathon runner in the desert? How has his sports career led to a spiritual growth? (2015) Marathon in Astana. The 7-time Guinness record holder has been retired for 2 decades. However, he couldn't miss this race. But this time he is a coach. He says rooting for his team is much more difficult than running himself.
Давай, все руки вверх, давай, поднимем!
Mountains, swamps, grasslands, the race requires running with a map of the terrain. When he was just 16 years old, he became the champion of the USSR in orienteering. To be honest, I don't like running. We used to run for long distances of over 20 kilometers. Many boys of my age left the track. I thought I'd do it too. But he never left the track. His coach found the right words to make Marat stay in sports. Marat, you're weak. When those runners leave sports, you'll do the same. I thought of leaving, but I did not want my coach to decide for me. So he stayed out of spite, and so he ran first for the Sports Institute, then for the army. He got so carried away, then he loved running. Then he found talented young people and began training them based on his own program. He knew how to avoid injury and how to endure long-distance runs. With his team, he took part in competitions all across the Soviet Union.
Так, давайте, группа, круг стали. Сейчас будем разминаться.
Must do are the words that motivate Marat to keep going and strengthen his will. It has been so in his childhood, in his youth, and to this day too. A warm-up is a necessity before starting a race. The athlete believes that after a warm-up, the runners have to maintain momentum right up to the start. So the runners must continue moving around, stretching, keeping their muscles warmed up until the very start of the race. Once you've warmed up, you'll be a better runner. 20 kilometers per hour is the average speed of a professional marathon runner. That is double the speed of migrating reindeer. Everyone can run, but not everyone can run properly. Marat says out of a group of 30 people, usually 1 or 2 acquire the actual running technique. I used to run about 30,000 kilometers a year. For amateur runners, 20 kilometers per week is a good distance to stay in shape. Marat says that he has run 160,000 kilometers in total over the years. It means that he can actually run around the planet 4 times. His personal speed record, 100-kilometer distance in 6 hours and 32 minutes. According to legend, a Greek messenger was sent from the Battle of Marathon to Athens to announce that the Persians had been defeated. In the Battle of Marathon, which took place in 490 BC, He ran the distance without stopping and burst into the assembly exclaiming, "We have won," before collapsing and dying. The first Olympic marathon was held in 1896 along the same route with a distance of 34.5 kilometers. The winner of the first Olympic marathon was Spiridon Lewis, a Greek water carrier. As a prize, he received jewelry, a carriage pulled by a donkey, and limited lifelong service from a barber shop. In 1908, during the London Olympics, the distance of the route was extended so that the royal family could watch the race without leaving the Windsor Castle. Today, the official marathon distance is 42.195 kilometers. It was adopted in 1921. In 1991, Marat ran 23 marathons in a row in just 23 days. Then he began to run 2 marathon distances in just 1 day, spending 4 hours and 54 seconds for each marathon distance. These records have not been beaten until now. In 5 years, I ran 700 marathons unofficially. The official data says I only ran 226 marathons. As a child of an orphanage, he had never dreamt of ever breaking a Guinness record. Marat was born in the Karaganda region, where he was 8 years old. His parents died. It was a sport that kept him together. As a kid, he wanted to travel. He became one of those legendary runners. His sports career has also become a spiritual growth path for Marat. He recalls a moment of enlightenment that happened to him in Taraz in a bookstore. I bought a book titled The Journey That Never Ends by Robin Davidson. It's an autobiographical story. A young woman with 4 camels and a dog crossed 1,500 miles in the Great Victoria Desert in Australia. That's how Marat got the idea of crossing a desert and started to prepare. In 1992, Marat crossed the Karakum Desert alone, carrying 20 kilograms of food and medicines. He ran 1,200 kilometers in just 20 days. It was his 3rd record listed in the Guinness Book of Records. In Astana, the race of 2015, the distance was 600 times shorter. A year later, they will be able to run the distance, but it all depends on them. In February 1993, when Marat was only 30 years old, he crossed the Sahara Desert 1,700 kilometers in just 24 days. It was his longest and most challenging route, with hot days and cold nights, and the worst of all, the blinding sandstorm. Marat recalls how his feet hurt and his nails fell off as they could not withstand the numerous injuries. A marathon runner running through a desert day and night can drink up to 20 liters of water a day. Marat carried the flag of Kazakhstan over the Sahara Desert, lost 5 kilograms of weight, and became national hero in Algeria. He was recognized on the streets of the African cities and was asked for autographs. The route went through a small village called Tarifok and ended in the city of Taman Roses. The final stage of the run was broadcast on national television. Marat did not go down, but ran down in history. For many, he is a living legend like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he is a real-life superhero. Later, Marat decided to cross the Great Victoria Desert. The 1,600-kilometer-long journey that lasted 22 days turned into a spiritual experience for him, inspired by the writer and traveler Robin Davidson. In 1994, Marat made another memorable journey across the USA. The most famous race and the most difficult marathon in the world is in Nevada. During that race, the sun played tricks on him and made him a new record holder, however, in an unexpected way. During the race, Marat twice fell down of fatigue, fainted and got evacuated, but every time he felt better and continued with the race. Physicians have not seen such cases when runners recovered from thermal shock so quickly. Got up and continued running. I received 2 thermal shocks but continued the race. Marat did not drink enough water at the start of the race. The sun-struck Kazakh runner was named Camel after this very race. Back then, the newspapers were full of headlines saying a 139-mile-long hell, which equals 217 kilometers. Only a few people were able to finish the race. Marat was one of them. Later, he slept 24 hours straight to recover from the race. That year, the highest temperatures recorded, 67 degrees in the sun. The lights of Las Vegas in the desert, they can be seen for 100 kilometers. The Kazakh runner imagined as if he was conquering yet another city. The Americans gave him a second nickname, Genghis Khan. He ran 1,700 kilometers in 17 days. A supernatural endurance. That led to a glorious victory, stirring more interest in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is proud of its hero. Marat's legs have never rested. Soon after the US race, he ran up to the highest peak in Europe, Mount Elbrus. He took part in the race for the Arctic Circle, held on the island of Jibek. In 1994, Marat entered the world's top 3 extraordinary marathon runners. The old newspaper pages have already turned yellow. The headlines now serve as a chronicle. The orphan boy's dreams became real life. He also had other talents, such as he was a good painter, an artist. He has held solo art expeditions in the USA, France, Poland, Algeria, and the CIS countries. In 1987, Marat managed to sell his paintings abroad, even though it was a hard thing to do in the Soviet Union back in those days. One of his paintings was sold for $3,000 to a buyer from Germany. According to some scholars, running promotes creative thinking, and it also helps relieve internal reserves, promotes the development of a sixth sense. According to another hypothesis, running has played a crucial role in human evolution. The US scientists believe that as a result of natural selection, those who were good runners survived better. It seems to have been true for Marat. I run a lot. I can run 10 to 20 kilometers when I run with my dog. I have a German Shepherd. He does 20-kilometer races with me, but this is only in winter. Marat has one more dream. He wants to build a 1-kilometer track in Astana to prepare professional runners for big races. The Joly family moved to Astana from Ekibastuz 2 years ago. I spend a lot of time with my 5 children. Marat's children did not follow his career path. It is hard to compete with the outstanding achievements of such a father. I found my passion. The only path worth taking is the way to happiness, says Marat Zhilinbayev.